Go, 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 go.
3, 2, 1, 4 tires.
Still there, inside.
What a jump! What a jump!
The track is wet. It's good.
Still there, clear.
3, 2, 1. Green flag, green flag.
What's up, everyone? Foreign Field Podcast. This is Sam here, and I'm here with my friend J.R. Houston. He is the strategy and systems engineer, he is a strategy and systems engineer at 2311. J.R., congratulations first off, and thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's been a fun 24 hours here.
Yeah, I can imagine. I wanted to start off just asking a little bit on your background and kind of how you got here to where you are at 2311.
Yeah, I went to school at UNC Charlotte, got my mechanical engineering degree with concentration in motorsports, had a couple internships along the way at GMS mostly, and then worked at DGR, David Gilliland Racing at the time, eventually finding my way to Levine Family Racing. Until they closed their doors and started at 2311 in 2021 when the team started with the 23 and Bubba.
Awesome. And now transitioning to Sunday, because of course y'all won this weekend. Um, what kind of role did you play in the win on Sunday?
Yeah, it really starts pretty early in the week. We know that Indy is what we call a low degradation racetrack, so tires don't really wear much. That gives a lot of opportunities for people to get off strategy with fuel, with tires, all that stuff. So it kind of starts really early in the week. Once we're done with our post-race work on Monday, we just start diving into what happened last time at Indy. And we've only been there once with this car, right? So look at last year a lot to try and dissect that race. And, how would I run that race if I was going to do it again today? So it starts Tuesday, Wednesday. We talk about it as a company. It's not just the 23 team. We talk about it as a group, 23, 45, and 35 teams all meet, talk about the race. We spend about an hour and a half talking about it. And then we close the book there and we think about it for the next 4 days and kind of go into Sunday morning. You really got to think about things like, were you qualified? What are you racing for? One of the big things for us was like, if we qualify well, let's go for those stage points, because going into it, we're on the bubble, right? So the 45, on the other hand, is, he's racing for something different. He's racing for the win. He's got a lot of points. So everybody's kind of got their own thing that they're racing for. So you really kind of try and lay it all out. Like, here are the strategies to do points racing. Here are the strategies to try and win the race. And you try and lay it all out so that nothing comes as a surprise on Sunday.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you talked a lot about how you have meetings and you're thinking a lot about it because obviously you're the strategy guy. So how close was the strategy to what you expected it to be like going into the race?
Yeah, I mean we kind of go in order, right? From stage one. All right, stage one, we're thinking if we qualify well, we're going to go for stage points. All right, so this is when we want to pit. This is how we want to play it. All right, now caution came out. Okay, well, that wasn't in the plan, right? It's almost impossible to predict caution. So at that point, it's how can I take advantage of this situation to kind of meet my end goal? Worked out, took 2 tires there, kind of raced to the stage win with the 19, finished second in stage one. And then from that point, we kind of just reset our race. Okay, what's the next goal? So it does change a bit when those cautions come out, right? The cautions are what's random. The cautions are what we can spend hours on hours on hours talking about. What if a caution comes out on lap 5? What if a caution comes out on lap 10? What if a caution comes out on lap 15? Like, you can sit there and talk about it forever. I think the key is just really understanding, okay, if this is approximately what the race is going to look like, here's some ways to take advantage of that. And I think we had a good idea from looking at last year's race. Okay, this is what happened last year. Things don't repeat themselves, but you can at least be prepared for when those random cautions fall. And there were 2 of them yesterday. Well, I guess there was a third unexpected one other than the stage cautions with the rain at the end, but those can those can throw a wrench in your plans. I think it's important to just be ready for any situation.
Yeah. And speaking of the end of the race, I wanted to kind of get into your head here. You're at the end of the race. I know TV painted it as a huge deal, like, oh, we don't know if they can make it, with the overtime and all the stuff like that. Um, how stressed were you right there at the end? Because, I assume it was your call, to make sure that you knew how much fuel you had and everything. So you ran all the numbers and all that stuff. Um, how stressed were you at the end, thinking if you could make it or not?
Definitely stressed. So I got Charles, the crew chief, right next to me, and Andrew Hardy. He's the simulation engineer on the car. He's um, also assisting back at the speed center, and he we're all talking about it. We're all talking about how much fuel we have. Like most of the time, Andrew's working on making the car go faster. I'm trying to make sure that we execute well. And then Charles is kind of managing the situation. When it comes down to those closing moments of how much fuel we have, we're all focusing on the same thing. We're all focusing on the fuel. Prior to that, we chose to put on a lap that we thought, okay, this will get us maybe a green, white, checkered. The 22 actually cycled in front of us prior to his tire issue. Um, and we were like, man, we don't think he can make it from that pit lap, but we're comfortable making it to the end. If it runs green, we're fine. Um, and then that caution comes out for a rain, and it's like, okay, how's NASCAR going to play this? Because they could do a quickie yellow and have the lead lap cars and the lap down cars pit on the same lap, which means you only run two caution laps, then you choose, and then you go. Or they could run it a standard yellow, which would be a 4 or 5 lap caution. Now we're well into overtime. We're running way longer than we anticipated we were going to. So just during the rain delay, we're like, okay, what's next? And we kind of said, we're good for one green, white, checkered. We were comfortable with one. And we kind of were like, if we get to a second one, we're gonna have to pit. There's just no way. And then that caution came out, and we basically maximized every possible number that we have to squeak out, yeah, we can make it. So those last 2 laps were stressful. The start finish line at Indy, you can't really tell on TV, is like 3/4 of the way down the front straightaway. It's not halfway. The whole time the car was coming at me down the front straightaway, I was like, just don't run out of gas. Just keep going. Like the 5 is like right there. Like Bubba keyed up before he even got to the line, and I'm like, no, shut up. We got to get to the line first. Like it's right there. So that was certainly stressful. Um, Maybe it was stressful for nothing, because at the end of the day, we made a cool down lap and we did burnouts, and he burned the thing down and had plenty of fuel to do all that. So maybe I was stressing over nothing.
Yeah, that was the thing, was everyone was so stressed, me included, watching that race, because I know how much this means to you, and everyone on that team, and I was watching that, and I was just like, I need him to have enough gas to get across the line. He can run out the second he hits those bricks, but he's got to hit those bricks first. Just kind of walk me through, the afterwards, once you can take that sigh of relief and everyone's jumping up and down, throwing water bottles at each other, all of that, um, kind of just what was the next however many hours? I know you guys had your party whenever you got back, right?
Yep.
So like t walk me through kind of what's that like being a Brickyard 400 champion.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're watching it come down, start, finish straight, and you're like, okay, we crossed the line. And I was nursing a headache all day, got a bad night of sleep the night before. Um, Obviously, like before one of the more stressful races of the year for my job. And I just let out like a howling scream. Everybody on the pit box is going crazy. Um, we're just also excited and emotional about it. Everybody's hugging everybody. You're crashing into people. I mean, just so excited. You come down, you see the pit crew's excited because I'm on the box, so I'm kind of in a little sphere up there, and then you come off the box and everybody's super happy, and it's crazy. And then Bubba comes down the front straightaway, and he's doing donuts, and we're all right next to the car. I mean, you've been to the racetrack. The cars now are extremely loud. He's absolutely hitting the chip and blowing eardrums out. And it's like, you don't even care. You're just happy that it's honestly still running at that point. Um, but all that, and then uh, the fans there were crazy. That I have not seen that many people just like congregate around the start finish line and just cheer the whole time we're there with the car for probably 10, 15 minutes before it got pushed back to tech. Once it did get pushed back to tech, that's when, we start doing or we actually pushed back to victory lane, got to see the car go up the lift, which was really cool. I had forgotten that that was a thing, honestly. And then they're like, hey, victory lane's up there. So we went up there, get sticky, covered in Coke, uh, do a little bit of a hat dance with the trophy, and then from there we head down to the yard of bricks and start doing the hat dance there. I have a picture actually I took of all the cameras facing back when you're doing like the hat dance. There's just so many
Yeah.
cameras there on the front straightaway. It looks really cool. Do the hat dance, kiss the brick a few times. Um, it's really, really, really cool. You can tell it just means so much to everybody. You don't all fit across, so you're like bumping shoulders with everybody there to kiss the bricks, and that was really cool. And then the driver and the crew chief go off and do media. We kind of clean up a little bit and make sure that cars going through tech appropriately. But one of the coolest things that kind of happened was 2311. Every team, the 45 had just crashed. The 35 had had a rough day after getting into an incident on the restart. They're all coming out and congratulating us. And Dave Rogers, our competition director, asked NASCAR, "Hey, I know our car's going through tech. Once they get over the scanner, can we let the 23 guys come back out to the start finish line? I want to do a team photo with everybody." So all of the traveling people at 2311 went out to the yard of bricks and took a photo there in the middle of tech. NASCAR let the guys come over, and that was really cool to have so many people there and support individuals from other teams work on all the cars. So like I work on strategy for all three cars. There's guys that work on aero for all three cars, setups for all three cars. So it really is a company win when one of our cars wins. So that really makes it exciting.
Yeah, and you spoke to kind of the team atmosphere. I know we've talked about it previously, about how 2311, everyone kind of does, something for everybody. Um, I was gonna ask, this is gonna be my last question. How much of the focus now that you have that win is shifted towards trying to get the 35 a win to sneak in there, and then trying to get the 45 a win to try and lock them into the playoffs as well? How much of your job is going to be shifted towards that, and how much is going to be shifted towards, hey, Bubba Wallace, let's make a playoff run with this 23 car?
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting now because while when I was going through strategies for Indy, I'm looking at the conservative plays and I'm kind of looking at the aggressive plays. What are the two routes we can take? I think now, the 35 is in a must win. The 45 has a lot of points. They have some room to play with, and they absolutely want to get a win before the playoffs. And the 23 can kind of chase more playoff points. The focus can shift a little bit towards, okay, the conservative plays, they're there and maybe they can help you win a race, but maybe there's a little more risk to be taken. Because to make a deep run in the playoffs, you need the playoff points. We have 7 now. The 45 has 2, I think. So I think we've got to get the 45 in victory lane. We got to get the 35 in victory lane. And more importantly for Riley too is just scoring points on the board, finishing the races. I work a lot in strategy stuff, but driver analytics, making sure that the drivers are prepared and understanding of all the data, so that when we do get to the playoffs, nothing's new, and we can continue to try and make that push.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to mention about this weekend, about your job that you'd want to talk to the viewers about?
I mean, it was just an incredible weekend. Almost got the pole on Saturday. Almost doesn't count. Um, and then to really just, I looked at our average running position during the race, and it was a statement race for us. Really, we ran in the top 5 most of the day, and I think that that's what we're capable of. So I look forward to taking that load off our shoulders of points racing and kind of getting more aggressive, running in the top 5 more often, and chasing those wins.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing that happen too. Thank you for joining me. And also, thank you, all of our Foreign Fuel Podcast fans, for watching this. For Dom, Wes, and Steve, who aren't here, this is Sam signing off for this one.